Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode. In this episode we'll be doing garden design, and we're looking in particular at doing a little potager and vegetable garden, probably like a little herb garden. Actually, it's not that little, it's quite a decent size, but a lot of these gardens can be scaled down, and you can get lots of ideas from this for a good garden design for those sort of situations where you want a little formal garden and a little herb garden. So first of all, we look at something that we like, and then after that we measure it up and draw it. And that's exactly what we'll be doing in this video. Okay, and so stay tuned, and we'll see you at the end of the video.
Okay, so I haven't brought lots of my tape measures along, so we'll just do some quick measuring here, and then we're going to use probably a satellite photo to get the best of the size roughly. So this wall is 34 centimeters in width, well, it's pretty accurate, and about 35 centimeters in height. The path going across is 1.5 meters. That's a really good distance for two people to comfortably walk. And then we've got a cobble, and the cobble will be just around about sort of 100 wide. Now this border here, okay, I think you guys can see me better now. So let's just quickly measure across here, and I'll shout back the measurements to you guys. So that's about 2.35 meters, 2 meters and 35 centimeters, and the length of it is roughly about 4.5 meters. And I'm guessing it's about the same long. Yeah, about 4.5 meters long. Now in the middle here, we have got, going across the middle, we have got 6.3 meters. And going this way, I'm guessing we've got the same, but we'll just check it to make sure. And yeah, 6.3 meters. Again, in the middle here, it'll be 1.5 because it's very symmetrical. It's a very, oh no, this is 2 meters. So this is 2 meters along here, 2 meters wide. This is obviously going to be the main entrance. And this height of this wall here is about 1.9 meters. And the difference between them, that's around about 20 centimeters difference. So 2 meters wide, and then on the side ones we've got 2 meters wide. Sorry, that was 1.5. So the entrances is about 2.5, and that's about it really. So we've got a post in the corner of each one of these corners. We've got a little feature in the middle here, right bang in the middle, and that diagonal wise is 3.1, and I think this would be a great place. I think they did used to have a sundial here, but that's gone, and 2.2 on the sides, 2.2 meters. Okay guys, that should be enough measurements now for us to sort of draw this up, and that'll be it. Okay, we'll leave it there. Just a couple more measurements. This measurement here across is 60 centimeters. These are 60 centimeter square pillars. And then the wall itself, thickness wise, is about 34 centimeters width. That's just for the wall. Just a bit of extra there.
Right, so it's to help us with our design, we're going to put in into our, you can either go Google Maps or satellite maps, something like that. Luckily in Auckland we've got a thing called GeoMaps, so this will help us locate a satellite photo of the herb garden in Manurewa there. So we're going to put in Hill Road, oops, hang on, wrong one, open GeoMaps first. This is a bit confusing, but you've got to open it first, and then you've got to search. So first of all, you've got to agree, and then we're going to go Hill Road, Manurewa, Hill Road, we're going to have to put a number, Hill Road the Gardens, there we go, Hill Road the Gardens. Right, we're going to zoom into Hill Road the Gardens, there we are. Now we know where the herb garden is, so we just have to zoom in. Zoom into Botanic Gardens, there we go. We're going to drag this in until... Now what we need to see is the satellite photo. To get that, we've got to go up here to this layers part, and we're going to go to aerial photos. And when we've got the aerial photos, we're just going to click on until we get one that highlights. So it wasn't done in 2020, there's nothing in 2017. Right, there we go. So the last one was in 2016. So now we've got to find the garden there it is there, and we're just gonna zoom in, and ooh, there we go. Right, so there it is, a satellite photo of the herb garden, and that's exactly what we want. So we're going to take this one, and what we need to do is we need to do a screenshot. So I'm just going to take a screenshot now, but we also need to get this, make sure we get the scale in, because later on we're going to use that scale to scale it. So I'm just going to go like that. That's enough of what we need, and then that's snapped a shot there. And also while we're here, I'm just going to get the other herb garden. Okay, the first thing we've got to do is you have to have a program to design something like this. This is a really good program that I could recommend. This is the Real-Time Landscaping Architect 2023 by Idea Spectrum, and it is an excellent program. So we've just finished doing a screenshot of aerial photo of the herb garden at Botanic Gardens. So what we're going to do is we're going to import that. First off, we're just going to import it. I've already imported it, so I'm just going to put it in there. Now I've already, just to save time, I've already scaled it up. As you can see, it's got this little scale here that we took in the screenshot. So when we scale something up, you really just got to click on the satellite photo, and it just says resize, known distance, and you just basically go along there and you click on that, and that says it's 5.88, and it should be about 6 meters. Okay, so I've roughly made it about 6 meters, and this is the photo to scale when it's compared to the measurements. So if you have a look, we're looking in plan view now, and you can see it's nice and clear, and you can see here where the old pergola was and the sundial. So this was around about 2 or 3 months back when I visited. That pergola was there. In the meantime, it has now been taken down. So just to save time, what we're going to do is we're going to go to perspective, and you can see it in perspective now, and we're going to add the bits and pieces from the measurements that we've just taken. So what we'll do first is we'll add the central path, and just add that, and you can see that's the pathways. We're then going to add the pillars and the walls. So we'll add the pillars and the walls, and then after the pillars and the walls, we will add the center garden and the sundial. We will fill up the retaining gardens, the retained herb gardens around the side here with some soil. And then we're going to add the pergola, and then lastly we will add the people. Just add a bit of scale there. Whoops. We'll add the people, and there's the people. Okay, so now you can see it's very, very close to what was there. And of course you can pick the materials. If you would design this for your own garden, you can change the materials. You don't necessarily have to have old brick. You could have whatever you wanted. You could have a plaster finish or whatever. And of course, you don't have to have a sundial in the middle. You could put a water feature in there, or you could just have that as a seating area if you wanted to, and just have that as a sort of barbecue, maybe an entertainment area in the middle. So you can adapt these gardens for different purposes. And that's pretty much it, guys. So I'll just go back to the plan view now, and now you'll be able to see that is in plan view. I will quickly put a measurement in here so that you can see roughly what distances is. Let's have a look. It's looking about sort of almost 17.44 meters there. I'll do one in the middle as well. This was the one where we did measure it, and it was about it was supposed to be around about 6 meters, 6.3 meters, and as you can see, it's 6.3 meters there in the middle. Now, if you want to scale up, if you want to take a screenshot of this particular drawing, you can do, and you can scale up from that, from those measurements that I've just popped in there. Okay, guys, we're gonna leave it there. If you want to see the plants in this garden, I'll show you that next with the plants that they've put in at Botanic Gardens. But really, at the end of the day, you can put in whatever plants you like.
Okay, so we'll just go around the side borders now just to have a look at what plants they've got. And they've got, this is the globe artichoke, Cinera cardunculus. And that's, there you go, look at those ones when that comes into its own. Quite a big plant, at least around about 80 centimeters high by about at least a meter wide. And then we've got the thornless blackberry. Now that's handy to have, Rubus fruticosus. So if you've ever had berries before, you know that the thorns can be absolutely wicked, and this one is thornless, so that's great to know that there's a thornless variety out there. And you can have a look at the berries, and it is the blackberry. So there's one there that's almost sort of getting ripe, and now you can see that this growing on some wires going across over the side there, looking good. And then down here we've got some daisies, just the Bellis perennis daisy, or called pom-poms. That's the Bellis perennis daisy. I'm not sure exactly what they're used for, and maybe herbal, we can check that out. There we go, another globe artichoke in the corner. And then here, these ones are Artemisia, so these are generally grown to ward off other insects. The smell of the flowers is a good one. They use it in pyrethrum fly sprays and things. That's the pyrethrum daisy. Not sure what this plant is at the front. Not sure, it looks like almost like a lettuce looking thing. Maybe this one here. Maybe it's this one here, Endivine, and this, yeah, that's probably what it is. We'll have to check that one out. And then on this side, it looks like we've got some sort of passion fruit growing up on the wall. Yep, there we go. That's Passiflora Black Beauty, passion fruit. So that's growing up on the wall. And that's pretty much it. We're coming around. We've got a little dianthus there, another globe artichoke. And then, yeah, some more passion fruit, which is quite popular. And then we've got this one here, which is a raspberry, Rubus, and that one, it looks pretty thornless too, actually. Well, it's got very few thorns in it. That's the raspberry, and that's the same sort of thing growing up and along the wall. And then we've got a citrus. Not sure what citrus that is. Very, very funny looking citrus. Very funny looking one. Oh, there we go. Kaffir lime. So it's a kaffir lime. So we've got, there we go, citrus hystrix. That's kaffir lime. So you've got two of those. And then we've got a boysenberry hybrid. That one's called Starlight. Again, not too many thorns on these ones that they've picked for the botanical gardens. This edible sort of garden slash herb garden. Coming around here, red pineapple, and we've got a vine, a grapevine, and this grapevine is Vitis vinifera Albany Surprise, and I'm guessing that's a pretty good one if these guys have picked it. And that's just growing again on these wire structures. As you can see, going along, there's wire structures, probably span at least 2.5 meters between them, with wires on 3 different levels. One down at the bottom, one around about sort of 80 centimeters high, and one around about sort of 1.2 meters high. The wall, we have got a wall here. The wall's about 30 centimeters in height, and we'll do some measuring just so we can get some ideas. I'll do a quick pan around of the garden. You can see, very nice garden. We'll find out its overall size, and then we'll try and draw this up. There we go, set out in a very symmetrical way. Got a square in the middle, a couple of seats. There was a pergola here, but they've taken that down for whatever reason. Maybe it was getting old and needed replacing. You can see they're using this as the vegetable sort of set out, and a few ideas for recipes. And you can see there's different plants in here. Here we've got the Afro parsley, which we saw the on our culinary herbs. Next door to there, that's the calendula. And so this is really going to be quite a productive garden. And then down here, we've got some thyme. And what have we got there? Brassica junicea.
Okay guys, that wraps up this video. It was a pretty long one, but hopefully you found something useful in there somewhere. And it's always, it's always exciting to do good garden design. And this was actually quite good fun to draw it up, and I'm actually learning a little bit more about herbs too, so it's a bit of an adventure for me. Now, if you've got some advice, or if you're using herbs before, if you've done other garden designs, then please leave them down in the comments and share them. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video.